Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got former Outlaw member and former Hells Angel member, Bob and PeeWee. Yeah, and
Were you around when Germany said that the Hells Angels weren't, but they only said that club weren't allowed to wear their patches anymore in that country?
Yeah, I was there. It started off in Hamburg, Germany. I would run into those members, and they weren't wear.
Yeah.
Oh,
there it is, right there. Wow.
Oh yeah.
They have an African American member, and I said, "Do you get crazy looks?" He said he's usually all masked up, and when he pulls his mask up, people are like, then he just drives away. And I mean, they explained it to him. Listen, this symbol is from back in the day. They brung home war trophies and things like that, and that's like part of what it is. And it's a dead issue. They accepted him in, and he's one of the family. It's pretty wild. But Australia, I interviewed one of the Australian members. Australia made them take that part of their patch off because
the government did.
You cannot have that in Australia. So the Australia chapter only has a wheel with spokes.
Well, those guys in Australia, all them different clubs down there, because there's a bunch of them.
Oh God.
And they brought it on themselves. They've been shooting and killing each other for fucking ages.
Hey Bob, did you ever see that one? I just seen it on YouTube. Did you ever see that one with the Finks and the Angels at the MMA fight?
No.
Oh, bro, look it up. Yeah. Look it up. They're at an MMA fight.
Oh,
and
that
they
was
started
wild.
Fighting. The Finks and the Angels started fighting right there on the floor. The guys are in the ring fighting. They're fighting. And, man, they're going at it. And this is all you hear about. Pop, 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 pop. Bullets are flying. People are hitting the floor. You got to see it, bro. It's crazy as hell.
Jesus.
That's up on my Patreon. My Patreon channel has that video up there.
That's a crazy one, bro.
I remember after I was done being in the club and stuff, I got arrested on some more charges, bad stuff. One of my co-accused was a Hells Angel from Montreal, because this one kid was doing business with me and the Hells Angel guy. And this is after Bob Bouchard had been wrapped up and sent to prison and stuff. And then someone during that time had flipped. So this guy, my co-accused, he dealt with his blow charges in Ontario, and the cops came from Quebec and picked him up and back off to jail. He went there, and about 20 of those guys all got picked up, and they're all just starting to get out around now. So whatever it was a big investigation, and they were in for a long time. It's got to be 10, 15 years ago now. So, yeah, there was a lot of bad things going on in Quebec, and those guys were getting big time.
There's a pagan on the left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one on the right is the one that got assassinated in the Bronx. He was the president, Hector.
Who was he?
He got killed. He got killed by the two Hells Angels that jumped out with silencers. Remember that?
Oh,
yeah, they got caught.
Yeah.
When you see him running across the street.
Yeah, with the guns, with silencers. Yeah.
And you know how they got him, Bob? When they took off in that stolen car, the cameras on the corners of all the lights, they watched exactly where the car went. They just, every time it turned, they just watched the camera. They saw him pull into an empty parking lot, throw all the shit in the car, jump in their other car, take off. They got the plate, got him.
Yeah. They got 3 Hells Angels for that. And the whole premise behind that shooting was allegedly the pagans shot up the clubhouse for the Hells Angels.
Yeah.
The day before, a couple of days before their new clubhouse in New York, right?
In the Bronx.
And they suspected that it was them, and they sent these guys, and they got caught.
That clubhouse was in the Bronx.
Hadn't there been something prior to that too, that there was an event that was open to the public, but it was traditionally an event that the Hells Angels went to, and the pagans decided to come that year and took some.
Oh, the Hellraiser's ball. The
Yeah.
Hellraiser.
And they got knuckled around pretty good that night, didn't they?
Yeah, one of them died. Matter of fact.
Oh,
No, one of the pagans died. Yeah, the pagans got shot by
An
oh
angel.
my God.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, my brain, man, the older I get, bro.
they ended up dropping the charges against
that's a
that
good
angel.
thing.
No, you know what he did? He had to do a year for an unregistered gun. But he shot like two of them, and one of the guys died in a van. They were trying to get him to the hospital, and he died in a van.
Yeah.
And I can't think of his. God damn, man, I'm telling you, I
I'll
can't
get you his
think of it.
name. I'll get
Yeah, I
you-
got a picture of him. He's got long black hair. He's a big man. And then they screwed him around, and he left. He was from Long Island, and he left Long Island, and he ended up moving to Myrtle Beach, I think. And then he was in Myrtle Beach for a while, and then they got rid of him. You know, they kicked him out of the club. I don't know, man. It's like I said, man. I don't know how it is in the Outlaws, but when I sat there and I grew up my whole life in Milwaukee, and I've seen like 20 Outlaws. I didn't know one of them. And I was like, man, how times have changed, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
You know, everybody changes. And I said this, the Angels is like a revolving door. And that brother that's patting you on the back, he's just waiting for the right time to shove you through the door.
Yeah, man. Exactly.
That's what
It's
it's
like
all
a big-
about. Have Bob will
I
tell
think-
you.
I saw one.
Steamroller, right?
There's
Big
these
steamroller.
these guys in the North Toronto chapter, and they were like kind of where the power base in Ontario was when they had 300 patched up Hells Angels at once here, and the chapter president went for a bike ride, got in a crash, died. His club brother moved in, took over his business, took over his old lady, moved into his house, and just stayed.
That's crazy.
I've seen that happen a couple of times, you know, again, I don't want to mention this guy's name, but he came up to me in Sturgis and he mentioned this young lady's name, and her husband was a Hells Angel for a long time. He just died about 6 months ago. And this is way back, like in 2008, 2009. That angel came up to me from Washington and he said, hey, I'm in love with so-and-so, you know? Now, this is this angel who died. This is his widow.
Yeah.
And I just stood there for a minute, Bob, and I was like, what do you mean you're in love with her? He said, I'm in love with her. I want to marry her. And I said, well, listen to me, bro. Just listen to me. I says, he's only been gone 6 months. They're going to be looking down on you like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because you're already moving in on a guy's old lady. He goes, no, they didn't have that. I said, listen, I don't give a fuck about anything. You want to do this right, bro? You want my honest opinion? And he goes, I do. It means a lot to me. I said, do this then, bro. If you want to be with her, quit the club, hand all your in, and go be with her. He goes, really? And he was only a member for 2 years,
Yeah.
Bob. And he did. He quit. He handed his in. And I swear to you, Bob, that was back in 2008. He's still married to her to this day and they have 2 or 3 daughters.
Oh, then maybe it was the right decision for him.
It was.
But
And they're very happy.
no way he could have stayed in the club and did that.
No way.
And no.
He would have got, people would start beating on him and, you know, saying, hey, you were going behind his back, screwing it, you know. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. And it's funny because I've never understood why a brother would ever want to fuck his brother's old lady.
I know, bro.
There's a million girls out there. Girls throw themselves at us when we have our patches on. You know what I mean? You go in a strip club. If you can't pull out of a strip club, then you're not a very good fisherman. You know what I mean? Like,
right. You're carrying the wrong bait. Yeah.
Oh, damn it. I appreciate you guys, man. We could keep going all day long with you guys.
Probably could.
I really appreciate you guys reminiscing about your past lives.
Well, it was nice talking to you, Bob, and nice meeting you, brother.
It was great to meet you, PeeWee. Thank you very much, bro.
No problem, bro.
I really enjoyed talking to you, brother. I really
You
did.
too, bro.
Yeah, we'll get another one going with a whole bunch of people on it.
Sure,
maybe
man.
I can get that other outlaw guy to come on. You know, the one that needs that closure. Because if anybody could talk to him about it too, is Bob. You know.
Yeah, 100%.
Because he was in that club for 15 years, and he getting a goddamn letter in the mail with one sentence on it says we voted you out. Bad. That was it.
Never ever heard of that in my life, man. Weird.
I'm telling you, that's the way they do it with. Hey, they tell everybody they threw me out of the club, the Lions, and I quit.
I don't even understand why they bother. If a guy's out of your club, why would you talk about him ever again? That's
I know.
It used to be, don't ever say the guy's name again.
Right.
Yeah, but out bad used to be a really bad stigma on people.
Sure. Yeah.
Like there was a reason why you were out bad.
It really doesn't mean no.
Not anymore.
It only rattles you if you're still trying to be in that life. When I left the club, I was leaving the whole biker life behind too.
I did too,
yeah.
Bob.
Yeah, see, it's the way to do it. I didn't want to go leave the club to be in another one. I was done.
Hell no.
No.
Because you're gonna run into him at the Harley shop, right? Eventually.
I still run into him, bro. Yeah. People go, "Hey, PeeWee, don't worry about it, man. In time, you'll just fade out." I said, "I'll fade out." It's been 15 years. I'm 6'8", 320 pounds. Every time they see me, they Google my name. They go, "That's him. That's him, man." Next thing you know, man, I got troubles.
Can't go anywhere, man. I can't bring you anywhere, PeeWee.
Nope.
Thank you guys, man. I
all right, man.
it.
Nice meeting you, Bob. Billy.
Thanks, PeeWee.
Definitely.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks for making this happen, brother.
Right on, man. Chatting with Staxx.
Yeah, definitely. If you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too bad. Start your own podcast. Peace.